Hello, dear ones. Welcome to the Indigo Rose Lounge. I'm your host, Alyce Dylan. Today, I was wanting to have a look at the idea of being content consumers. It's fascinated me lately. So there's this whole industry, right, built up of people who watch things and listen to things and read things and view things. And then there's a whole industry of people who create things. And just it's the equivalent of any capitalist society where people make products and people consume products. And I think as a race, we've not been very discerning on either front on what kinds of products we're willing to consume or not. I look at some of the stuff that is out there that has reached billions and billions of consumers, everything from clothing to content. And I'm fascinated with why. Why would anyone want to consume this? Why would they pay money? Because money is a representation of our time and effort, right? So we put our time and effort into something and we're remunerated with money. So when you're exchanging money for something, you're exchanging your time, your effort, and your capacity for something else. So why are we exchanging our time for that? And being a content creator, in a sense, I suppose one would say that I am now. But really, I don't see myself that way. It's a difficult hat for me to wear. I see myself as an intuitive counselor, Reiki Master, author. And I happen to make things for people that they can consume easily. But it's all about uplifting humanity. It's all about helping people to cope. It's all about making people happy. And if you look at my feeds on various things, you'll see a lot of animals being silly, animals being cute, dancing dogs, all because that makes me laugh and that makes me happy. And so I'm happy to consume content or things that make me happy, that elevate my soul, that make me smile. Food, let's go with food. There is content, there is food out there that doesn't even taste particularly nice and is very bad for you. Why are people consuming it in such large numbers? Of course, the psychology is there. We know people get brainwashed into things. There are advertising is like a branch of human psychology and public relations. People get convinced that these brands are good or those brands are good. But really, we can't speak for the whole of humanity. I know that. But in your life, what is there that you consume that doesn't make you feel good? Look at food, for example. Today, we're told that these things are good for us, and tomorrow it'll be something different. Yesterday, there was a food pyramid, and we had to eat all these vegetables, all of these, and then tomorrow there'll be, oh, there's something else that's good for you now. Why don't we trust ourselves? Animals know this. My dogs will be found every now and again chewing on grass. And then they'll throw up. It's dreadful, I know, horrible imagery. But in that moment, that was something they needed. So they have these instincts that I need to eat grass now. Yes, I'll eat the grass. My body can't digest grass. Okay, I'll throw up the grass. But in that action, there are things that are good for them. They needed to throw something up. At that moment they ate grass, they did that. And yet we are so out of touch often with what our own bodies desire, what our own bodies need. And so we end up consuming all this garbage. It's so not good for us. So that's an element of coming into the moment and really feeding yourself. You can't be responsible for what everybody else in the world does. That's their business. But you can take ownership of your own space and say, look, what feels good for me is to eat these things. They taste divine to me. And when I drink these things, I feel good. And that's for me. And if we do that, if we follow what feels good, and notice I'm not just saying what tastes good, or because sugar addiction is a real thing. So not, take yourself out of the realm of the addiction to certain things, and then say to yourself, well, what tastes good to you? There are some people who can live on salads. I admire them. I can't. Salad to me tastes like something a cow should be eating. And I'm not big on salads. But nuts and grains, now I can go there. But lettuce and carrots and tomatoes, most fruit even, not something I can go there. And that's actually true. I've had that confirmed for me, that my body has some things out of whack from childhood that result in me not being able to digest these really intense vegetable things. So rabbit food is not for me. But dal, absolutely. I could live on dal. Could eat dal all day, all night. I love it. But this is mine, and I wouldn't try and impose it on anybody else. So every person will be different. Now, in terms of products that we could insist on, we could insist that products don't kill us. That would be nice. So food that's actually going to benefit our bodies, that would be good. In terms of clothing, natural fabrics are much better. They have a higher frequency. So natural products that have high frequency are going to be better for us. That's just the truth. So we could try and insist on some better, higher frequency products. That would be good. In terms of the content we consume online, whether it be books or information, just be diligent. Just hide all the stuff that doesn't feed you. The internet is such a microcosm. You can spend half an hour on any platform and listen to or read about the dreadful things going on everywhere. There's this dramatic incident happening there. There's this dramatic incident happening over here. So in half an hour, you can learn about 20 tragedies or dramatic things. And in that same half an hour, somebody is waking up their child, getting them dressed for school, and feeding them breakfast. The internet is a concentrated version of the global happenings of humanity, and that's only scratching the surface. Our days continue regardless. We still show up in our days. What's in front of us is still in front of us. So would it not be better? I'm not saying don't be aware of what's going on in the world. Of course, there's a level of awareness necessary. But maybe achieve a balance of content that helps you to show up better in your moments. If there's content out there that enriches your days, your moments, like music that uplifts you or makes you feel good, or smiling children, whatever it is that makes you smile, make sure that you are balancing that. Not only are you being aware of what's going on in the world, but on the other hand, that you are spending as much time feeding your moments, elevating your spirit, raising your frequency, so that you are more and more capable of showing up in your moments, ready to heal and serve and be whole in yourself. So it's mindless consumption, I think, is plaguing a lot of humanity right now. And as indigos, as spiritually perceptive people, I don't know that that's ever going to serve us in any way. Discernment needs to be a huge part of our days. Discerning what emotional stuff to pick up, discerning what thoughts to entertain, and discerning what content we are going to consume. That's all very, very important. And when we do that, we can just elevate and fill our days with more love, more well-being, and better and better. Okay, lovelies. Love always.